Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with the fourth and the last chapter of economics, that is food security in India. In this chapter, we will try to understand what is food security, then why food security is needed. After that, how the food security is affected during a calamity. Then we'll try to know that who are the food insecures, who are the people who actually need food security. Then we'll try to understand two important things, that is buffer stock and public distribution system. And after that, through different graphs and charts, we will understand the food security, the condition of food security in India, and at the end we will see the role that cooperative societies play in maintaining the food security. So these are the topics that we will cover in this chapter. Now first, let us understand that what is food security. Now, as we all know that food is among the three basic needs of people. The three basic necessities of person includes food, shelter and clothing. So food is as essential for living as air is for breathing. But food security does not only mean that a person is getting meals twice a day, so the need of the food security is fulfilled. Food security has three important dimensions. Now, three important dimensions of food security includes: first is availability of food, second is accessibility, and third is affordability. Okay, so what is availability of food? It means the food production within the country and the food imports in the previous year stock stored in the government granaries. Means how much food is available to the people living in the country. So the first dimension, availability of food, means that how much food is available to the people in the country, how much food is produced, how much is imported from the other countries, and how much previous year's stock is stored with the government granaries. Now second is the accessibility. Accessibility means that whether the food is within the reach of every person or not. How many people are not getting food every day, how many are sleeping hungry, how many are getting handful of food. So how much accessible is food to the people living in the country. And third is affordability. It means that whether the people are able to afford the food or not, they are having enough money so that they can buy sufficient food, sufficient as well as safe and nutritious food for themselves. So this means that affordability, that whether they are able to afford the food or not. So these are the three main dimensions of food security. So in a country, food security is ensured only when three basic needs are fulfilled, and the three basic needs are that enough food is available for all the persons living in the country. This is the first thing. Second is all persons have the capacity to buy food of acceptable quality. This is accessibility. And third, this is affordability. And third is there is no barrier on access to food. So this is accessibility. So if these three factors, that is everybody is getting enough food, second is everybody is having the capacity to buy the food, and third is there is no barrier on the accessibility of food. So if all these three things are ensured in a country, then that country is said to be having a proper food security system. Now, in this box we will see that how the meaning of food security changed from time to time and how different dimensions kept adding to the meaning of the food security. So in the year 19 or in the phase of the year 1970s, food security was understood only as the availability of basic food at all the times to the people. This was the definition that was given by UN in 1975. But Amartya Sen, another economist, he added a different dimension to food security, and he emphasized that the access to food through what he called entitlements, that was an important dimension of food security. And what were entitlements? Entitlements involved the combination of what a person can produce and the produce he is having, what he can exchange in the market, whether he's importing, he's exporting, what exchange of things he is doing. Then so he said that along with the availability of food, accessibility to the food is also important. Now later some other substantial shift was seen in the meaning of the food security, and in the year 1995 the World Food Summit declared that food security at the individual, household, regional, national and global levels exist when all the people at all the times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So this is an important definition of food security which was given by World Food Summit. It says that at individual, household, regional, national and global level, food security is said to exist only when the people have physical as well as economic accessibility to the food. And what kind of food? So safe and nutritious food which can meet their dietary needs and they can lead an active and healthy life. So these are some changes or some developments which we can say which took place in the definition of food or in the understanding of food security by the people. Now the next topic which we are taking is why food security. Okay, so why food security is actually needed. So the poor sections of the society or the neglected section of the society might be the food insecure most of the time, but sometimes the people who are living a normal life, who are living above the poverty line, they may also face some food insecurity. And when such condition can occur, when our country is facing some natural disaster or calamity, for example, if there is an earthquake or drought or flood or a sudden tsunami occurs, so what happens due to all these natural calamities? There is a failure of crop. No, not much crop can be produced, and when the crops will not be produced, how the people will get food? So the normal people who can easily afford the food, but the food is not available to them. So let us understand that how is food security affected during a calamity. So due to a natural calamity, for example, if a drought occurs, drought means less amount of rainfall occurs during some year. So what happens? The total production of food grain decreases. And what happens due to this? It creates a shortage of food in the area in which drought has occurred. And due to the shortage of food, the prices of the crops goes very high. As the crop available is very less, so the prices will be very high, and due to the high prices, all the people cannot afford that food, and if they will not be able to afford that, obviously they will not be having food and they will be facing a situation of food insecurity. And for example, if such calamity like drought occurs in a widespread area, for example, if the whole India is facing the problem of calamity, then this will be stretched to a very long period and very severe consequences could be seen due to this. Now, it may cause a situation like starvation, which means that people are dying out of hunger, they are not getting anything to eat, and a massive starvation can turn into a famine. So let us understand that what is a famine. So a famine is characterized by a lot of deaths takes place due to starvation. It means due to hunger a lot of people dies, and an epidemic sort of situation is caused due to use of contaminated water or bad quality food, decayed food, and there is a loss of the immune system of the body or body resistance due to the lack of food or starvation. So if a calamity occurs and if in such a situation the country is facing food insecurity, so it can lead to famines which can worsen the situation of a country, causing a number of deaths and starvation. So India faced a very devastating famine in the year 1943. Actually it was not all over India, but it actually occurred in Bengal. So Bengal was the state which faced a famine in the year 1943. So famine killed around 30 lakh people in Bengal, which is a very large number, vast number. Though this famine occurred before the independence of the country, as we know that India got independence in 1947, and in 1943 Bengal, which was a province at that time, faced a very severe famine. So here a table is given which describes the production of rice in the province of Bengal. So year wise production is given, that how the production of rice was affected from the year 1938 to 43. You can see here that how the exports got nil. First earlier Bengal was a good exporter of rice, but during the famine the export got nil and it had to import the rice from the other areas. Now who are the people who were most affected by famine in Bengal and in general? When such famine occur, then who are the people who are most affected? So the agricultural laborers, the fishermen, the transport workers, and the other casual laborers who do small works are affected very dramatically because of the increasing prices, and these were the people who mostly died during the famine of Bengal. Though after that year, after 1943, no such famine happened in India again. But if we see that even today there are some places like Kalahandi, Kashipur in Orissa, where famine like conditions they have been existing for many years, and their people also died due to starvation. So, and along with that starvation, deaths are also seen in Baran district of Rajasthan, Palmau district of Jharkhand, and many other remote areas during the recent years. So we can say that even in today's condition, there are some regions where people are still dying due to starvation, dying due to hunger. So this is a very alarming situation, this is a very serious situation. And if we want to deal with such situation, so a proper food security system is must in a country, so that food security is ensured in a country. So why do we need food security? Because in a country, at any time, any such situation or calamity which can occur, and it can turn into a famine, causing lot of deaths and lot of disturbances. So to deal with such adverse situations, what is needed? A proper food security system is required.